Without seeing a stat sheet, I just don't know, you know, much about where was what. But I'll open up for questions.
There are a lot of uncharacteristic penalties and mistakes and things like that. What happened tonight?
Yeah, that definitely it definitely killed some drives on offense. I think there's three and outs to start the game, and just uncharacteristic things. A couple targeting penalties in there. I thought the second one was kind of hard luck. Some personal fouls, roughing the passer that kept drives alive when we were feeling a little momentum. I thought we could move the ball on them a little bit. Once we settled down after the first three drives, and yeah.
Coach, what happened in the fourth quarter? I mean, obviously you guys were able to score, but they were able to score 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals, and were able to move the ball pretty well. So what has to change defensively?
Was that all in the second half or fourth quarter?
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we got to get them off the field. We didn't get them off the field when we needed to, and drives got extended in different places and different reasons.
Speaking, along the same lines of getting off the field, one of the ways to do that is by turnovers, and this is 2 games now where there's no forced turnovers for the other team, and part of it with your run and shoot offense, I think, with the defense, that's what you look for a lot, is to get the ball back, right? That's 2 turnovers, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Turnovers do help. I don't think we created I don't think we gave a turnover up besides the fourth down, the non-fourth down conversions over there. But turnovers do help. It changes the momentum of a game. Getting them off the field, making them punt. I don't know the time of possession off the top of my head, but it seemed like we didn't have the ball in the third quarter very much. But that's just part of it. And I'll tell you what. This is a very difficult team to game plan for, with a new coaching staff and it being their first game. It felt like we had 2 first games back to back, but even defensively, a defensive coordinator that we didn't has never called it, and so trying to figure them out by watching other people's defenses is. It was part of it this week, and it wasn't easy. But the guys did a great job. The coaches, we felt like we had to do our best coaching job as we try to figure them out and make adjustments and see what they were doing. But the mistakes, I think the mistakes just add up, and we can't have those mistakes.
Coach, Stanford today ran for 158 yards total. Going into this game, was that something you knew was going to be tough for them? Or tough?
Coach Taylor's MO was a running background. He has a bunch of runs, watching the Sac State film, and having to go off of that. Now, which direction and what type of runs he was going to choose, again, it comes down to, the game plan and figure them out on the move. And again, there's just, I felt like in a couple positions, they got off really fast, and they kept creating second and shorts, which just kept them on the field and driving. Once we got a beat to stop them down, to slow them down, then some, mistake was made somewhere where it kept the drive going, and it was hard to get them off the field.
Hey, Coach. As far as your guys' running game goes, what do you feel like you guys can do to jumpstart that and just get more production there where it's, it was not really existent today?
Yeah. Find a way to get it rolling. This is 2 games in a row that we haven't, that was probably our bread and butter last year. And as we, as the run and shoot, as we keep our tight end and add extra runs in, when we watch these films, and usually the case, it's a breakdown somewhere, and then it's a play where one person breaks down, and next play another person breaks down, and we all kind of take turns breaking down instead of being on the same page, being consistent, and I think that's where some of the youth in these guys kind of show up, playing for the first time, and just getting on the same page. So as they get the continuity together, as they watch themselves on film, understand. I mean, these are not easy opponents. But I think with understanding what they can do and how they can do it, and just kind of growing and learning from it, I think it'll be okay.
They exited camp with 3 quarterbacks. How much time were you able to prepare on Daniels, and also were you surprised by his passing?
Yeah, he played really good. He played really good. I mean, it was a dink and dunk. It was a dink and dunk. It was a slant. It was a sit down. It was something over the middle in the seam. And then he hit he'll hit a chunk play with a gimmick. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the MO of the offense a little bit. But he did a really good job. I thought times that we had him wrapped up, we had him in pressure. He got the ball off. But if we can get to him and we can get some sacks on him, I think it backed him up behind the chains a little bit. I think we would have had a better shot. But we weren't in front of the chains. They did a good job staying on track, and that's probably the difference.
You guys being you and Brayden, the offense find 11 different receivers for completions, and it seemed like for the second week in a row, you guys were getting open a lot more as the game progressed. So were you seeing some things, and Brayden also seeing some things that helped? And secondly, to go with that, it looked like there was some protection breakdown. There were quite a few sacks. So
Sure.
Some good and some bad.
Yeah, there's some good, some bad in there. I think Brayden, when he watches the film, we watch the film together, we're going to see some throws that we're going to want back, or maybe some targets down the field, or some eyes and some progression that could have gone in the right place. Maybe they'll save those sacks too, and getting the ball out quicker and those type of things. But I thought our receivers and guys, they did a good job for the most part. Disappointed in some of the drops. Those are things that we can't have. As we just talked about the defense, and we talked about trying to get them off the field. But for us to stay on the field and sustain these drives, we got to be really good at managing those things and taking completions and making sure that we secure the ball and we're moving the ball down the field.
Hey, Logan. This looked like a game that for a second week in a row that you guys were in it pretty much, for most of the game against a team that was favored. Your opponents haven't had any turnovers yet in the first 2 games. Is there something you guys can do to try to force more turnovers, or because I know that's one of the things that this the game plan is for you guys in this offense and defense?
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to say that, win or lose, we give God the glory and praise. We're going to continue to lean on him for the strength that we need, and we're going to, even when the things are not going our way, we're going to believe in him for a breakthrough. But to get back to your question, just, making it an emphasis at practice, getting turnovers, because, you got to do that practice, be able to do it in the game. And I think we have an understanding of it, but we just need to make it a bigger deal, right? Getting shots on goals, getting the ball out. Any chance we get, if you're second to the tackle, try to get the ball out. But I believe we can do that, and we're going to make it an emphasis at practice.
All right, Logan. So they scored 6 out of the 7, 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals. What has to change defensively?
We just need to get off the field. We need to get off the field. We can't have mental breakdowns. We got to be able to, be on the same page. Everyone doing their 111. We just got to do our job. Really, that's all it is. It's one guy messes up, we all mess up, and that just leads to them long drives and scoring 6 out of 7 times. So yeah, we're going to take care of that.
Hey, Logan, early in the game, they were going to their tight end repeatedly. Did you guys know much about him coming into the game? Because I know they had a new head coach, new offense, and all that. And how tough was it to stop him on some of those?
No, like Coach Chang said, it was a kind of a hard week to prepare. But we did know he was a good player, and we did prepare for him. And like I said, it's just mental breakdowns. Hats off to him. He had a great game. He's a great player. I think that it's a good lesson for us, for when see a player of that caliber. So, just preparing, like I said, at practice, preparing the way that we need to be successful on game day.
Logan, penalties really seemed to bite you guys today. You kept drives alive, kept Stanford moving the ball. How much of that is an emphasis, talking, to the guys in the locker room or this week in practice that we cannot have these drives continue because we pass interference or we hit a player late?
Yeah, that's going to be a big emphasis, knowing that, we got to be smart. You can't let your emotions, those are big. You can't let your emotions take you do things that we cannot do. So we're going to emphasize that. Just being smart, just do the right thing. If it's closed, don't do it, And, but we're definitely not going to stop our intensity. We're going to keep on getting after it, but it's got to play smart,
Hey, Brayden, not the result you guys were hoping for, but just kind of talk about the offense. I know you guys kind of came into your own a little bit late in the back half of the game, but just kind of talk a little bit about some of the positives you saw tonight despite the loss.
Yeah, there's always going to be positives. There was some good stuff on there, but, at the end of the day, I got to play better. I got to put my eyes in the right spot. I got to make those plays for our team. So, I take responsibility for it. I'm going to be better. Starts with me on offense. And we're just going to continue to grow from this. I think this is a good experience that we've had these past 2 games. We've learned a lot, and we're going to take it for the better. And we're going to keep that locker room together and move forward.
Brayden, these past 2 games haven't been the outcome you wanted, obviously, like Kyle said. But what can you talk about? Just fixing the small things and kind of putting your offense together into something, because you had another career high game with 355 yards. So can you talk about just kind of putting those pieces together?
I think everyone can see we have a lot of talent. We've got some really freaking good receivers. I think we have a good O-line. We've got a good running backs. And so it's just there's a ton of potential, but that's all it is right now is potential. So we just got to continue to go out there and get in the film room, get better, continue to look at those reads, continue to get my eyes in the right spot. But there's definitely a ton of potential, but I think all it is right now is potential, so that's frustrating.
Hey, Brayden, can you speak to the red zone opportunities you had tonight and what you felt worked in some of those and where you fell short?
Yeah, the red zone's definitely got to be a big emphasis for us going forward. That's 2 weeks in a row that we haven't been up to standard in the red zone, and obviously that's a huge part of the game. So we got to start practicing that a lot, get in there, and continue to just work on that because that's killed us these past 2 games.
Hey, Brayden, it's been 2 games now where Tylen's been a little bit slow to start off the season. What have you seen from him so far, and what's your message to him as one of the leaders on the offense to try and keep his head up as he pushes through a tough start to the season?
I think he's a hell of a player, and I think a lot of people are going to start to see that. I don't think it's all on him. I think a lot of that's on me too. I just got to continue to build him up, and we got to build him up. He's a great football player. He's probably our best player on our offense, so we just got to continue to build him up. We know he's going to come along, and it's not all on him. And we're just going to build him up, and I guarantee you he's going to come back and start to have some really freaking good games.
Brayden, you mentioned the potential. What do you see as the potential? And when you guys were able to move the ball down the field and score, what seemed, as you were watching, what seemed to be working?
Yeah, it looks beautiful when we start to get on the same page, and I'm on the same page as those receivers. And that's what we just got to go in the film room and look at what we're having success with, continue to do that, continue to run that, and just go look at the stuff that didn't work and just work it out because, like Coach Chang said, there was a lot of stuff we left out on that field today. I think we easily could have had a lot more yards in the passing game, and starts with me. But we're gonna get in that film room. We're gonna get it right because we got a ton of skill at receiver. So,
Brayden, no interceptions. That's a good thing. 6 sacks, and were they doing something with their coverages early on that you guys had to pick up on, or was that because some of them did seem like you had the ball for a long time in your hand?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely didn't really know exactly what they were going to do on defense. It's a brand new defense. We could only game plan for what we thought they might do, and they come out in some different stuff and some things we thought. So, that's tough whenever you're playing a team that hasn't played and has a new coaching staff. But at the end of the day, I just got to get the ball out of my hands quicker. I don't think any of those sacks were on the O-line. I think they were on me. So I just got to get the ball out of my hands quicker and make those reads. Thank you.